Welcome to our review on an introduction to waves. We've got three key terms we need to understand when we're talking about waves. That's the amplitude, the wavelength, and the frequency. So when we're talking about the amplitude, then we're talking about the maximum height of the wave measured from the midpoint. So if you look at the diagram at the bottom there, you can see that there's a line that runs right through the center, and then going from that line to the very highest point of one of those crests is the amplitude. So on the far left side there, you can see that little red line going to the top of the crest, measuring the amplitude, and that's in meters. Second word is the wavelength, and again this is measured in meters, and it is the shortest distance between one point and the same point on the next wave. So for example, you might measure from crest to crest or from trough to trough. So you can see on the diagram at the bottom, we're measuring from the top of one crest to the top of the next crest. So that is one wavelength. The third and final term we need to understand is the frequency. Now, frequency is measured in hertz, which has got the symbol Hz, and it is the number of waves passing a point every second. What we've got are two different types of wave, but today we're only going to think about the transverse wave. Now, when we're talking about a transverse wave, then the vibrations of those particles are at right angles to the direction of the wave's motion. So what we see is we get this very distinctive little diagram because the vibrations are at right angles to the direction the wave's going in. So if our wave was going from left to right, the vibrations would be up and down. If we think about the calculation that could come up with regards to waves, then on page 2 of our exam booklet we'll see this one for the wave speed. So wave speed in meters per second equals the frequency in hertz times by the wavelength in meters. So you don't have to memorize the calculation, it's found on page 2. So the example of a kind of question they might ask you: Dylan is standing on the end of a pier watching waves pass by. The wavelength of each wave is 1.3 meters. He counts 2 waves every second. Find the wave speed. So to calculate our wave speed, we do frequency times wavelength. So our frequency is 2, wavelength 1.3. So 2 times 1.3 is going to be 2.6 meters per second.